talking now with Richard Lorentz, one of the co-founders and the managing director of KrisEnergy, which is based right here in Singapore. So thanks for joining us. You didn't have to travel too far?
Not too far, no, right across the street.
We're happy to have you here. So this comes at a very timely moment to have this interview, because there was just a report in the local paper recently talking about how a lot of listed energy firms are seeing projects being canceled and being delayed, and it's really hurting their revenue. But KrisEnergy was mentioned specifically as one of the companies that's going full steam ahead. So how are you managing to do that when your competitors aren't?
Well, we've been very lucky, right? You know, our business model, it focuses on Southeast Asia, but more importantly, it's a model that has a mix of oil and gas production. So the gas production is not really affected by the drop in oil prices, and that is our bottom line. That supports our bottom line. So in that regard, we have a constant revenue stream that isn't affected by the global downturn in oil prices. Secondly, we were very fortunate to approach the Singapore bond market in the middle of 2014, where we were successful in raising 330 million Singapore dollars in non-convertible, non-secured bonds that are at a preferred rate. So we're cashed up, we're going in with a full-blown program, and you know, touch wood, everything will go to course. We have 7 projects we're working on, and 2 will start producing this year alone.
Yeah, the article did say that you plan to double production this year?
Almost double production. We should be around 15,000 barrels a day. We're at 8 right now, but by the end of this year, we should be at 15,000 barrels a day. By the end of 2017, we should be at 35,000 barrels a day. Okay. With those projects.
Now, KrisEnergy has, from what I understand, 19 licenses across about a half a dozen countries.
Yeah, that's correct.
So some people would say that's spreading yourself a little thin, but you probably have a different take on that.
I do, because I'm a geologist. We are in 6 different countries, Singapore being one of them. The other 5 are Vietnam, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Indonesia. And that does look like we're spread thin. But what people don't know, unless you're a geologist and work in the oil and gas sector of Southeast Asia, it's only one set of geology. The geology from Bangladesh all the way to eastern Indonesia is all the same age rocks, same depositional environment. So when we focus on Southeast Asia's geology. It just happens to be covered in 6 different countries.
But does that present a problem in terms of dealing with 6 different governments and 6 different regulatory agencies?
It's a question we get asked all the time. With the exception of Vietnam, in the 5.5 years that we have been in operation, there's either been an election or a coup in every one of the countries that we operate in. So that does present a challenge. But we have standalone offices in all of the countries. Our philosophy is that we man each of our offices with very senior nationals from the countries that they operate in. And it's people that we've worked together with for the last 25, 30 years. So it's a relationship-based company with people that we trust. And that smooths a lot of things out in the countries.
So KrisEnergy was founded in 2009.
Correct.
And oil prices had done pretty well between 2009 until maybe about 6 months ago. So how has the plunge in oil prices affected your strategy, your planning, the way that you're operating right now?
Well, you know, interestingly enough, when we set up KrisEnergy, it was September 2009, as you point out, we immediately started making acquisitions with the support of our private equity founder. If you recall, back in 2009, the oil prices were not too dissimilar to what they are right now. So now that we have made the discoveries and we're kicking off the production on those acquisitions, we're really back to the same environment and the same economics that we had when we bought the properties in the first place. Hopefully, as we ramp up production, the oil price will recover and it'll look that much better. One of the things that we have consciously worked at is make sure that all of our work programs are discretionary. We will spend in the neighborhood of $250 million a year, every year for the next 5 years. Less than 10% of that is firm commitments. We have a high level of discretion to move work projects around, drill wells next year versus this year, and it allows us to swing with the oil field problems of the oil price.
So since you've been in operation since 2009, now you have some projects that are coming on stream. Mm-hmm. And I understand Cambodia is one of your bigger projects. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's exciting. Cambodia, we were a working interest partner with Chevron and Moeco and KrisEnergy from the very beginning of KrisEnergy days. We had a 25% working interest. Last year, in August, we acquired another 30% from Chevron and took over the operatorship. So the partnership now consists of Moeco, KrisEnergy, and KrisEnergy as the operator. We've kicked off that program. We're in the final negotiating steps with the government to finalize the contractual terms of it. Once that's done, we'll declare FID and we'll have production within 24 months. What's significant about that is that it is a very large project to KrisEnergy, and it's a huge project to Cambodia. It will be the first time that oil is produced ever in the Kingdom of Cambodia, which by any stretch of the imagination has got to be exciting.
Absolutely. I'm sure the kingdom is very excited about that as well. And you have some others coming on stream in Thailand too?
Yeah, we have 3 developments in Thailand, 2 of which will start producing this year. They're discoveries that we made in 2010, 2011. The third one will probably be on stream by 2017 or 18. We need to do a little bit more subsurface work. And then we also have 3 gas developments in Indonesia, one of which we signed the gas sales agreement day before yesterday.
So things are moving
progress,
along.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are based in Singapore, and suddenly you have all these people coming to your neighborhood, all these for the Oil Council conference. Mm-hmm. So how is it to have everyone here? Who are you hoping to meet with? What are you hoping to get out of having everyone here and having this great networking opportunity?
You just answered the question. There's no better networking opportunity than this event right here. You could go from conference to conference in the oil and gas industry around the world, but you'll never go to a conference that has the good mix of investors and oil and gas professionals that this one does. This is the third one, I understand, in Southeast Asia. I went to the first 2 in Hong Kong, and every year it's getting bigger and bigger. And you can feel the energy in this conference versus some of the other gloom and doom conferences around the world.
Well, this is what I was going to ask, is what is the conversation like here? Are people worried about these energy prices, or are they looking for ways to mitigate the current risk and moving forward?
There's 2 different types of conversations. One is exactly that, is let's hunker down, let's slow everything down, let's put a hiring freeze on, let's just wait to see what the oil price happens. And people are doing that. People are, all companies, including ourselves, are putting a sharp pencil on our budgets to just try to squeeze that last bit off of the balance sheet. But the other conversation is these are opportunities. Those companies like ourselves, who actually have a fairly robust balance sheet and a supportive series of shareholders, are being faced with opportunities like we've never seen before. In the last 5 years, we have probably reviewed over 250 different opportunities in Southeast Asia. The deal flow has always been fantastic, but now the deal flow is second to none. So there are 2 different types of conversations. One is pull in the reins, don't do anything, sit back and be quiet. And then there's a conversation that we're having is let's go faster.
Yeah. Do you anticipate expanding beyond Southeast Asia ever?
We don't need to. I don't want to say never because that's a long-term kind of a stumbling block for us. We're a publicly traded company in Singapore. Our second largest shareholder is Keppel Corporation here. They're very supportive. We play to our skill sets. All of the technical people that work at KrisEnergy have either worked or lived our entire lives in Southeast Asia. To say that we would be competitive in Africa would be a lie. And I went to school in the Philippines. That's how long I've been here. So Bangladesh to East Indonesia, offshore China down to Indonesia is a big enough area for us.
Go with what you know.
Go with what you know.
Okay, great.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Sounds like it's not broken at all for you.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
We've been getting some great insight from Richard Lorentz at KrisEnergy, based right here in Singapore.